This is the third time I'm filming this video. We love that for me. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today's video, I'm gonna be talking about 2018. What the heck happened this year? Mainly gonna be talking about like the music side of my life that happened this year, like a little recap of all the shows, festivals, whatever else I did this year, just to kind of talk about it. Talk about my favorite show from this year, my favorite festival, my favorite sets, all that stuff, which it's crazy looking back on it. Like I had an insane year. Like this was my first year being an adult because 2017, I was half of it I was still in college, and then the other half I was like adulting and whatnot, like figuring out how to be an adult. So when I was in college, I was going to event after event after event. So 2017 was a really stacked year. So I've had a list since 2004, starting with Kelly Clarkson. We're just gonna talk about my 2018 list and we'll just talk about everything. So in 2018, not including Decadence, I went to 22 different events. I've been progressing, as you can see. When I first started going to EDM stuff, I only went to 2 in 2015. And then 2016 was 13, 2017 was 19, 2018 was 22. Go me. We're just gonna go down the line and see all the things that I went to this year and kind of talk about it all. So the first thing I went to in 2018 was Lane 8, his Little by Little tour, which was amazing. I saw Lane 8 like 4 times this year and it was just incredible every single time. He's definitely an artist that blew up this year and I love him. His music is so great. His mixes are amazing. Whenever he uploads like a 5-hour mix to SoundCloud, I'm just so happy because then I can listen to it while I'm at work. He's great. If you ever have the chance to go see him on tour, I highly recommend it. They do this thing where his whole thing is like, this never happened. So they red taped around my camera and you weren't supposed to have your phones out, and when that happened, like the energy in that room was just like amazing. Like because people weren't focused on getting a good video or anything like that or posting it to Snapchat, whatever. Like everyone was just present and in the moment and it was so good. And that's mainly why when I'm at a Lane 8 set, I will never record anything, still to this day. And then I went to Crush Dallas, which was Medicine, Griffin, Mala, and Rez. That was like such a good show and that was so fun. March 3rd, I saw Drezzo and Whipped Cream at Vulcan. And that was the night I met Ryan, so that will always hold a special place in my heart. He was shuffling and I was shuffling and I was like, hey, you're cute and you shuffle. And you know, the rest is history. But that show was really fun. March 15th, Space Yacht came to Austin, which if you don't know what Space Yacht is, it's kind of like a collective group that just throws a bunch of shows with artists and stuff like that, kind of like Brownies and Lemonade if you know what that is. So they came to Austin during South by Southwest and they brought Quix, who I absolutely love. Like I think 2019 will be a really good year for him. He's super awesome. If you don't know who Quix is, definitely check him out. I went to Beyond Wonderland, which was my first California festival back in 2017, so I really wanted to go back this year. I just had so much fun and it was like my first Insomniac event, and yeah, Beyond Wonderland is always a great choice. If you are thinking about what Insomniac events to go to, definitely check out Beyond Wonderland. This was the first time I saw Fisher, I saw Chris Lake, I saw Valentino Khan and Yultron, Kashmir, Gammer, Rehab. I saw a lot of awesome artists for the first time, which is always great because I feel like I do see a lot of the same artists a lot of the time. So that was really a good weekend and it was so much fun. And that was also the first weekend where I really got to meet a lot of people that follow me. Which was interesting because this was still in my first year of being like a blogger and stuff, and this was when people were like recognizing me, like, oh my god, you're Vibe with Aid, or are you Vibe with Aid? Like, oh my gosh, like I follow you on Twitter, I follow you on Instagram, and that was just like so crazy to me, and I think it just made me realize like the impact that like of what I was doing at that point, you know, which is just crazy. Then in April, I went to Luca Lush and Yetep, which was so fun. They're definitely someone to watch for in 2019. Yetep I found through a friend, and on SoundCloud he has these awesome mixes. Definitely check those out, but he's starting to show up on some lineups, which makes me really happy and hopeful that he will be on more lineups to come next year. And Luca Lush, like, he is definitely a very underrated artist. Like, I definitely hopefully think that 2019 will be a really great year for him. Then we also went and saw What's So Not in April, which was so fun. He had just come out with his album, which whenever I feel like, especially this year, whenever I feel like an artist released a full album that they've been working on for so long, if their sets for festivals and tours like 1,000 times better, because it just feels more cohesive and together. And that show was like so awesome. In May, right before EDC, during my birthday weekend, I went to Euphoria, which was it was supposed to be like a camping festival out in Carson Creek Ranch, and then they ended up moving it downtown where it was this like unique type venue hop, which, you know, for having to switch venues last minute, that was pretty fun to do, to just hop to the different venues. And I've been wanting to do a venue like tour of Austin and kind of talk about the different venues of Austin and which ones I like most and whatnot. So that was cool to get to see that. And I got to see Cray for the first time, Atlians for the first time, Kid, Black Gummy, all super, well, I've seen Kid before, but I saw him, and then Black Gummy I saw for the first time, which was dope. And then I went to good old EDC for my second time, and whew, that took a toll on me. Oh my god. My sleep schedule was so ruined after that, but it was seriously, like, it was a really good weekend. And getting to see a lot of my friends that I had missed so much because I was graduated and a lot of them are still at ASU. Like, it was so sad, like, leaving them at Kid. Like, we all just parted ways and I just, like, started crying because I missed them so much. And, like, my little rave family is seriously the best and they're great. That weekend, let's see, I saw Chris Lake 3 times. Chris Lake had a back-to-back set with Chris Lorenzo. He had a solo set and he had a back-to-back set with Fisher, and I saw all 3 of them. Oh, I laugh at that now because I'm just like, wow, that's a lot of Chris Lake, but I love the guy. Who else did I see? Dombresky for the first time. He was cool. Joyride had a really good set at EDC. That was my second time seeing him at EDC. Pretty lit set. Claude Van Stroke set was awesome. Virtual Self. I saw a little bit of Virtual Self. I saw the beginning of it, but with the conflicts that were going on at that time, I ventured elsewhere and saw a little bit of Cascade, a little bit of Alpha 9, but all over the place. Some other standout ones were Moxie, Polly, Millennium, Zed's Dead. I think about that set still. I listen to that set, like, if I have a leg day or like cardio day that I don't want to do, I throw on that set and power through. I saw Green Velvet in the Neon Garden where I could have lived for the rest of my life. Also saw Shiba Sanj on Diablo, No Redemption, Chami Back-to-Back Mala, which was amazing. And Kid had a pretty awesome set. That was probably the best Kid set I'd ever seen. That was like my 3rd or 4th time seeing him. And then I went to Electric Forest, which was probably one of the highlights of my year, getting to go to Electric Forest finally after hearing about it for so long and dreaming about it for so long. It was seriously so fun. 4-day festival, and yet EDC took more of a toll on me than this 4-day festival, and I was there for 5 days because I did early arrival. This was probably the festival where I saw more artists that I hadn't seen before than like the opposite. Like EDC, I felt like I saw a couple artists I hadn't seen before, but otherwise I kind of saw the same artists that I've seen. As Forest, that was a little bit of a different story. I saw Shallow, William Black, Squinto, Crane, Face Jesus, Anna Luno, Closey. I haven't checked out Closey, do that for sure. Clicks again, Hayden James. Rufus Du Sol had an amazing Forest set in the Forest. Who else? G Jones back-to-back E-Prom, which if you have not seen them, definitely see them separate and then see their back-to-back. Whatever you can see, do that. Saw the Glitch Mob, Lane 8 again, Vanilla Killa, all the feels. Zoo had a really fun set. Rez had a good set. Bass Nectar, that was my 2nd time seeing him, and it was definitely interesting. No, it was dope. I mean, I just heard so much about Bass Nectar, so seeing another set from him was cool and it was fun. It was a good time. Then I went to Camp Nowhere, which had Louis the Child, Big Wild, Cray, and Troy Boy. That was a really fun show. Louis the Child, that was probably my favorite Louis the Child set I'd seen. They're just really coming into their own, and it's just so, I see videos of their tour that's happening right now, and I'm just like so proud of them. They're so awesome. And they're so nice. I met them at Electric Forest, which if you haven't seen that vlog, it's my day 1 vlog. I met them on day 1. And Ryan and I saw Manila Killa on his tour, which was great, even though Ryan had just gotten better from having mono, so that was like his first outing in like a month. And then I went to the first ever Seismic Dance event, which was like a house and techno festival in Austin, which was probably, it was such a fun weekend, and that crowd was just like Dirty Bird and like house techno people that I want to be around. You know, like they're all such nice people, and it was so fun. A lot of artists I hadn't seen before, like the people that I had was Drezzo, Green Velvet, Lane 8, and that was it. And so that was really cool to get to hear different artists, and especially in house, like with any subgenre, like it's all doesn't really sound the same. Like everyone has their own unique spin to it. The set that most surprised me at this one was Totally Extinct Enormous Dinosaurs. Was lit. Oh my gosh, teed like a king, honestly. It was so, so good. So this is, I forgot that I went and saw Zoo. Like Ryan was like, oh, I'd have to say my favorite show is Zoo. And I was like, oh my God, this wasn't even in my list. Like I didn't even acknowledge it in the 2 videos that I filmed, which was a really good show. Oh, his visuals too were cool. And he had this like cool pyramid that he was just like chilling at the top of, like a true king. And then I went to ACL, which ACL was awesome as always. It's great to go to a huge festival like that in your own city. You get to go sleep in your bed once it's all said and done. And having my 2 best friends in town, Devin and Lester, was just like the absolute best, because you know they're my best friends, you know, and then them coming, and they're Coachella boys normally, and they loved ACL, so that was cool. Favorite sets from that were Khalid, Odessa. That was my 2nd time seeing Odessa, but the first time in 3 years, so that was pretty special. Sophie Tucker, Justice was killer. Oh my God. And then Illenium, Rez, Travis Scott. Then I went to the Illenium after show, which was probably my favorite Illenium set to date, because he played a lot of his current stuff, but then he brought back his good old throwbacks like Gold Dust Remix and Infinity Remix, and I was just all in my feels, and it was just magical. Then Ryan and I went to Casbo, and I also saw Years and Years, which was kind of my like non-EDM fix for the year. I love Years and Years, like I love his voice, and that show was really, really fun. I went to Freaky Deaky, which you guys know that was like a lit time from my vlog. That was so much fun. Standouts from that was definitely Boombox Cartel, Slander, Alice in Wonderland Porter. That like 4 hours was just like life-changing. I hate being so dramatic and like, oh, it changed my life, but like it was crazy. Like I've had all seen them before, but they just like brought their A game. Like that was the best sets I've seen from them like ever. It was so fun. And then day 2, Chris Lake. So good. The best thing about that Chris Lake set was that after that, Ryan was like, I get it. He said that Chris Lake was one of his favorite sets of the year, and I like almost started crying. It just made me so happy that he like now like understood why I like him so much. I don't know. I could like start crying again about it. I don't know why. It's just like when your significant other like understands your love for an artist, it just like, it just feels good. Like he like set the sky 7 lines, like I'm right there with him. He didn't listen too much to Chris Lake before, but like him seeing him live and he's like, okay, cool. Like I like this vibe, and I'm like, yes, okay. We're done with that. And I also saw Camel Fat and Walker and Royce for the first time, which they both just blew me away. And then Nora En Pure and Cascade were also awesome. And then Fisher came to town, so I saw him again for the 3rd time this year. You know, we love Fisher here. That show was really fun. It was like a 2-hour set. So that was a real treat. I was really happy about that. And then I went to Origins and saw EDX, Autograph, Justin J, Nora En Pure, Lane 8, Duke Dumont. That whole day was just like so fun, and it was so great getting to be back in Arizona and getting to see a lot of my friends again, and of course to some nice house music. Like what more could I ask for? And then Ryan and I went to Seven Lions the weekend I got back from Arizona, because we don't stop here. I've been on a nice break since then, but we went to Seven Lions, which honestly was a really great show. Like the visuals, like the best thing about that show is that I just didn't know what was coming next. Like I'm been such in an EDM hole for so long that I feel like I can guess the next song that's coming a lot of the time. But with Seven Lions, I couldn't. Like he went from psytrance to hardstyle to dubstep to your emotional feelsy stuff, and I just was like, It was just so good. And then Ryan and I will end the year at Decadence, Arizona, which I am so excited for. You guys know I will see you there. I will have a totem. Let's get into this. Let's get into my favorites from this year. Talk about my most favorite sets. So this was really hard, and I know I'm gonna have to say some honorable mentions right now, or this is gonna be a top 10. I don't know. Honorable mention for Beyond Wonderland. Yultron and Valentino Con both had amazing sets. Like, first time seeing them both, and I like thought I would want to leave at some point and go check out another artist, and I stayed the whole time. That's when you know it's good. Millennium's EDC set was really good. Green Velvet was really good. Kid had a really good EDC set. Like, then Electric Forest. I really don't know what I was thinking, because like Chris Lake at Electric Forest is great, but yeah, that Rufus Du Sol set in the forest was life-changing, so we're adding that in. I'm gonna add that in. We're making this top 10, okay? Okay. So that was 5. We're gonna add Rufus Du Sol at Forest. We're gonna add Green Velvet at Seismic. We're gonna add Odessa. Yeah, I left out Odessa. Like, someone slapped me over the face right now. Like, okay. You're just not gonna have Odessa in there. This is in no particular order. Fisher, Beyond Wonderland, Zed's Dead, EDC, Casbo, Electric Forest, Chris Lake, Electric Forest, Camel Fat, Freaky Deaky, Anna Lunel, Electric Forest, Odessa, ACL, Rufus Du Sol, Electric Forest, Green Velvet, Seismic, Chami, and Mala, EDC. Okay, this I feel better about this. This feels very me and on brand. There's a lot of house on this. You know what? That's just me. Take me as I am. Okay? Now that that's out of the way, I'm gonna do a top 5 for favorite show. So my top 5 in no particular order, and I talked about why I like these shows a lot, was Lane 8. Simply the energy of that room, because we didn't have our phones, was awesome. What So Not, just because he came out with his new album. It was a very cohesive and great show. Seven Lions, like I talked about, like just all the different genres he threw in, and like he definitely changed it up between like his edits that he normally does, which is really great. Millennium, his show was so good in all the feels. And then Zoo, same thing. He just came out with his album, so it was a very cohesive and great show. He also had really awesome visuals. We're getting through this. We're making it through. This is a video that's gonna get posted. Like, we're not messing this up anymore. Finally, my favorite festival of 2018. Buckle up, people, although you're gonna be like that meme where it's like pretends to be shocked, because my favorite festival this year, if you couldn't already tell, was Electric Forest. I just say it and I get so happy. Like, if you couldn't tell from my videos, if you haven't watched any of my Electric Forest videos, I'll link them down below. It's the best place ever. And it, obviously, for obvious reasons, it was my favorite festival, and I'm so excited to be going back. Yeah, I can't wait to go back. I'm so excited. I hope you enjoyed this video. Comment down below what your favorite show was of 2018, your favorite set, festival. Obviously, it was hard for me to narrow it down for the favorite sets and show, because we're so close to this video being done, and then my camera like overheated or something because I'd been filming the video for so long. Anyway, comment down below what your favorite festival was of 2018, your favorite sets, your favorite show, all that jazz. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Also hit that subscribe button to vibe with me and join the little vibe tribe. I love you guys so much. I hope you guys have a great holiday and a great new year and all that jazz. I think I'll have one more video before the new year comes, but yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.